Hey, this is Jen from the Nomadic Fits Gluten-Free. I'm a gluten-free lifestyle coach with celiac disease, specializing in cooking, traveling, and socializing on the gluten-free diet. And today in this video, I want to walk you through my 4-step strategy to reducing anxiety when attending social events on the gluten-free diet. So let's face it, social events can be really tricky, especially when you're gluten-free for health reasons or you have celiac disease like me. And that's because there's a lot of unwanted attention, there's a lot of speaking up for yourself, which can be uncomfortable, and it just creates a lot of situations with anxiety and just discomfort. So what we want to do to reduce that discomfort and reduce that anxiety is we want to follow a plan or a strategy to stay safe, of course, to eat safely, but also to prevent that mental burnout that sometimes accompanies having a gluten-free diet. And if you've ever experienced some of that burnout or just felt like, oh my gosh, I'm just so exhausted from always speaking up all the time, or you just can't be bothered to go to another dinner or to another party or another barbecue, that's the burnout piece. That's what I'm talking about. So we want to have a strategy in place that's going to reduce that burnout, help us eat safely, and reduce, again, those feelings of anxiety. So that's what I'm going to walk you through in this video today, and I have a 4-step strategy that we are going to follow to help do all of those things. This strategy is called the CALM strategy. While it may be the opposite of what you're feeling in the moment, in those moments of social anxiety, the acronym is CALM, so each letter, C-A-L-M, stands for a different action step or something that you can do and act upon to help remind you to stay calm and, again, help you eat safely while reducing that social anxiety and preventing that mental burnout. So let's dive into each of these letters one at a time so we can further understand what to do and what they mean. So the first letter in the CALM strategy is the letter C, and C stands for choose the activity or choose the food. And what I mean by that is, as often as you can, if possible, try to choose the activity that you're participating in, choose the restaurant where you're going to, or choose the food for whatever event that you're attending, meaning you could prepare your own food and bring it with you. The reason why choice has such an impact on reducing our anxiety and making us feel better about social events overall is because it gives us control. It gives us control over what's happening. And let's face it, the food is what we're most afraid of, right? We want to make sure that we can eat safely and we won't get glutened. So that is why C is choose the activity or choose the food or choose the restaurant where you're going so that you have more of a say in what's going on and you'll feel more in control of the situation. The A in the CALM strategy stands for advocate for your needs. Advocate is a fancy way of saying speak up for yourself. And if you're like, Jen, that is a lot easier said than done, I totally understand. This speaking up, right, drawing attention to ourselves, taking up space, can be very socially uncomfortable. So with practice, it does get easier, but know that this is the piece that's going to give you the most discomfort. But look at it this way. Would you rather have a couple seconds or a couple minutes of discomfort, of that social awkwardness, or would you rather have the multiple minutes, hours, or days that you will be suffering if you end up with a gluten exposure? If you think about it that way, the social awkwardness isn't so bad. I know that it's still hard, which is why the next step in the CALM strategy will help alleviate some of that difficulty and make you feel a little bit better. So the L in the CALM strategy stands for locate your support. Now this is where the advocacy piece of the last step, where you have to speak up for yourself, will be a little bit easier if you have somebody that supports you nearby, with you, on standby via text or FaceTime or on the phone, or even a DM on Instagram. Having a support system, having somebody that understands what you're going through or supports what you're going through will make the speaking up part not so hard. And even better, if that person is with you for this particular social event, they can step in on your behalf and speak up for you if necessary. If it gets to be to the point that you're like, I just can't even, I can't even say anything, I'm tapped out, I'm done, then they can step in and speak up on your behalf. So locate your support, Again, if they're there in person, even better. This could be a partner, a sibling, a parent, a family member, a friend, a colleague, even someone that you just happen to message on Instagram that you've never met in person, but they're like your gluten-free soulmate or best friend. See if you can message them and say, hey, do you have the space to talk to me right now? I'm really struggling. I'm out at a social event or I'm out at a restaurant and I'm just really having a hard time. Guarantee that that person's going to understand where you're coming from because they've been there too. And I have as well. The M in the CALM strategy stands for make time to rest and recharge. This is crucial. So with all of the speaking up that you've just done, having your support nearby, choosing the location, you've gone through this whole entire process. The whole time your brain is on like hyper mode, right? Because you're paying attention to everything, you're watching, you're being very diligent to make sure that you're not going to get sick. It is exhausting. So in order to not feel drained or depleted by social events, by going to parties or going out to dinner, going to bars, going to restaurants, going to work events, all of these things, these events that involve food or drink, in order to not feel drained by them, you have to give yourself the space to recharge, to rest, to build up your batteries and to refill your cup, right? Because if you just keep going without that balance, it's really easy to just be completely burnt out and be like, this is too much. I just don't even want to do this anymore. I don't want to go out anymore. I just want to stay home and be a hermit. Okay? Now there's a couple things that you can do to rest and recharge in a way that's going to refill your cup and make you feel more normal again. So thinking about if you were out at a restaurant, a lot of attention on you, your order was different, you had to order, like it took longer for you to order, there was a lot of paying attention to what you were doing, what you were saying, it can just be uncomfortable. So to balance that discomfort out, one of my top suggestions is to visit a dedicated gluten-free bakery, if you have one. So if you have one of these in your town or in your city or somewhere nearby, or even a dedicated gluten-free restaurant, it is such an amazing feeling to walk in to that place and know that you don't have to say anything. You don't have to draw attention to yourself. You don't have to say you have an allergy. You don't have to say you don't have to say anything. It's so wonderful. You can walk up and just be like everybody else and order whatever you want and know that it's totally safe. And that feeling of normalcy, of being like, is this what it's like to just be like a normal human in society, is so wonderful and can really help fill you back up, especially if you've just had a very isolating or uncomfortable situation at a social event recently. So that's one of my top suggestions. If you don't have a dedicated bakery close by or somewhere that you can go to, even just cooking a meal for yourself at home, it's one of your favorite meals, even if it's boxed gluten-free mac and cheese, power to you, that stuff is really, really good. Make it for yourself. Enjoy it. Enjoy that you can make something safe for you. Enjoy the fact that you don't have to explain anything to anybody, and then enjoy every single bite of it, right? So that's another option you can do as well. So that's it, my friend, the CALM strategy. Choose the food or the activity, advocate for your needs, locate your support system, and make time to rest and recharge. Together, all of those spell out CALM to remind you to stay calm. And if you use these action steps for your next social event, it can help reduce that burnout while also giving you a plan to eat safely. If you found this video helpful and you want to dive deeper into social events using the CALM strategy, check out my gluten-free guide to social events. It's a mini course focusing on giving you all of the tools that you need to attend social events with confidence, including a step-by-step roadmap for every type of social event that you can think of that involves food, plus 50 responses for how to reply to people that give you a hard time about your gluten-free diet. So whether it's a naysayer in the group, or someone's like, oh, that's just a fad diet, or someone doesn't believe you that you have to eat a certain way, or even someone that offers you food you definitely can't eat, there are over 50 different ways to respond in those uncomfortable moments so that you can feel confident speaking up for yourself and knowing that you're staying safe. So I'll link that information in the description below. And if you have any other questions about social events, feel free to schedule a free 15-minute call with me on Calendly. That information is also below. I'd love to help you feel more confident attending your next social event on the gluten-free diet. Bye.